thank you for tuning in to another episode of Under for the Review. I'm your host, Kenny Crossman, alongside him, as always, my man, Josh Boone. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby?
Oh, man. We got a big one tonight. We're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. Main topic of tonight is the NFC West. We're going to get into a lot of bit of NFL, a lot of bit what's going on in free agency, trades, what could happen. And if you're a fan of the Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, or Niners, this is your episode. You guys want to tune into this? You don't really need ESPN, Fox, CNN, MSNBC. Nah, man. We're the real deal. So, going off on the first topic of the night, we're just going to talk real quick. Orioles baseball. Obviously, me and Boone are diehard Oriole fans all of our life. Two of the big things that they made off season so far is Andrew Cashner, and they just signed Colby Rasmus this past week to be a outfielder, which they signed him to a minor league contract. But Boone, I want to get your opinion on this. Okay, I know. I'm more the baseball guy than you are, and that's cool. But let me ask you a question. If you're a team that needs an outfielder, would you go after somebody that literally just decided to stop playing midway through the season because they didn't want to play baseball anymore? But we actually picked him up to be our outfielder this year.
That's just the Orioles' way, man. I guess the Orioles just never ever want to compete, man. Like, it's kind of sad, really, to watch what they do.
Oh my God!
But like me and your big thing was, if they know they can't bring back Machado, why not try to trade him for some starting pitchers or something, man?
Yeah,
because he's just sitting there waiting to sign with the Yankees, pretty much now.
Well, the other thing is, if you're going to keep Machado and you know this is going to be his last season, why not go all out? You know what I mean? Why not literally spend your entire cap and then go over in the luxury tax just to see if you can make that one last push? I think they should have went out and got Lance Lynn. I think they should have went out and got Alex Cobb. I know they got Andrew Cashner, but you're going to tell me that you got Chris Tillman back on a $3 million 1 year deal? Like, Chris Tillman had the worst record in baseball last year. He was terrible. And you're going to bring him back because, what, you got a hometown discount?
He's the ace.
God.
He's the ace in the bullpen.
I mean, and then the other thing is, there was Corey Dickerson out there. He could have been our right left field. Doesn't matter. He was batting .282 last year. Had a bunch of home runs, RBIs. The dude was great for Tampa Bay. We don't pick him up. We get Colby Rasmus, and then freaking Corey Dickerson goes to the Pirates. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what goes on with Dan Duquette. I don't really understand what goes on with Peter Angelos' money. To me, they need to spend. I mean, if you look at the teams that are actually doing well, they're the ones that actually go out and try to get those free agents. And not only do they have the great free agents, but their farm system is so much better than ours. For some reason, we don't get free agents, and our farm system sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, dude, me and you remember 2014. We were just talking about it tonight.
Yeah. That was a fun time.
Please, Baltimore, please, come on. Can we get another 2014? Please. Just try for us. Please. Yeah. That's all I'm asking.
Maybe
but
it's because we stopped going to games, man.
I know. We stopped going to games.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know why we stopped going to games. The year that we went
was
to
awesome.
2014,
it was awesome.
we went to 11 games. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's not Dan Duquette. Maybe it's not Peter. Maybe it's us that's not showing up to games.
Yeah.
Shame on us, man.
They quit playing because under further review stopped
man.
Going on, you know?
But, yeah, so, big news in Major League Baseball. Obviously, J.D. Martinez signed with the Boston Red Sox. Boo. Just another player that's going to do well in an organization that we don't want to do well. So J.D. Martinez signed. Today, Ohtani for the Angels. Looks like he struggled. But, again, it's spring training. Dude, Dylan Bundy, our ace, gave up 5 earned runs today.
Pretty, that's impressive. That's what the Orioles are looking for.
That's what I'm saying, man.
What do you think about Machado starting the shortstop all year?
I think it's a cop-out, man. Yeah. I think it's the Orioles just saying, look, you can do whatever you want to do because you're Manny Machado, and we're not going to have you next year, but we're going to still allow you to do whatever you want this year. I mean, if Manny Machado said he wanted to pitch, Buck Showalter would be like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, what was that game that they went into so many extra innings that Chris Davis had to come out and pitch? You remember that? Like they went.
Red Sox. Yeah.
I was like,
actually, Chris Davis got the win on that.
Dude, I was
like, what?
That's crazy.
Oh my god. But yeah. So JD Martinez, Lariano signs with the Tigers for $4 million. It looks like the Rays prospect Honeywell went under Tommy John surgery. And then the cool thing, the cool thing we'll give a shout out to the MLB is looks like they're going to be doing a lot of patches and stuff for Parkland for the shooting.
Yeah.
So
they're all wearing their hats.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Pretty cool. So shout out to that, but I mean, there's still free agents out there that Orioles can try to grab, or if you guys have a team that you guys think that you guys want to talk about, what free agents are out there or what trades, or if you think Manny Machado is going to go to you guys, well,
happy New Year.
But yeah, so Boom, what's going on with any basketball tonight? I heard the Celtics were whooping up on the Knicks
by 3 points. Last I checked, so they were struggling. But the Warriors and Thunder are going at it. I'm not sure what that situation is.
We'll check that out here. Let's give you some NBA updates.
Well, what do you think about the whole...
hey, real quick, shout out to, if you're a Timberwolves fan, Jimmy Butler looks like he went under meniscus. He had a meniscus injury. Looks like he's getting a season-ending injury with an ACL tear. That's real bad news for Minnesota because they were looking really good.
What do you think about this? Is the Westbrook-Durant rivalry over now? It's like, all right, man, he left. It is what it is. Or you think they're still going to be that's all that beef will always be there? You know what I mean? Anytime they see each other, be like, yeah, dude, but you left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I honestly think it's always going to be there. Why? I mean, I don't know. For me, I honestly think that Westbrook should just let it go. KD should let it go. Look, KD went to another team, got a ring. Many people say that's a cop-out as well. Obviously, he went to the best team in the West. If you can't beat him, join him. I guess that's what KD said. Got a ring. Did he do Oklahoma City wrong? Maybe. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to look out for yourself.
Yeah.
And for me, honestly, I would have rather beat the best than played with the best and got the ring. But hey, if KD wants to do that, it's more on him.
I think it was cool when Joel Embiid or whatever that guy's name is from the 76ers, that's from Cameroon, he dunked on Westbrook, and Westbrook had that little stare down with him at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I like Westbrook, man. I think he's...
So, real quick, about to go live on Facebook, so that way you guys can see us, chat with us. Yeah. What's up?
Awesome.
So, hey guys, Facebook out there.
We just went live with Facebook, so that's pretty cool.
You definitely want to check us out. We're on YouTube right now. The YouTube URL I'm about to post in Facebook. So guys, check that out. And again, hey, hit us up. Give us a call. 267-629-2165. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some people, but hey, I'll put the link in our Facebook page under further reviews to check us out. So anyway, so going into a little bit of basketball, LeBron James came up and basically said that he's no longer going to sit games. I guess he wants to lead by an example. Okay, this is the same guy that years prior was all for sitting out games. Don't know why, but I guess every athlete needs to have their time to rest or what have you. Do you agree with athletes sitting out a couple games here and there? And or is it important for them to always stay on the court, because the standings are so close that each game is actually pretty relevant. I mean, in your opinion, if you're the coach, is it cool for the players to sit out, or is it? Or are you giving them the okay, you can sit, not you tell me when you're going to sit?
You mean like the players telling them?
Right,
hey,
right.
I think it should be up to the coach, man. Seriously,
Yeah, I agree, man.
If you're like, if you look at it, every game counts, really, but they have so many games. But if you look at it like a Ravens standpoint or like an NFL standpoint, like you want your best players out there to give you the best chance of winning.
That's what I'm saying.
Each and every time.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I'm not, I mean, I'm all for players sitting, but I feel like it should be under the terms of the coach and not the terms of the player. Because, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, we're paying your salary.
Yeah.
The fans.
Yeah.
I mean...
And they want to come there and watch
you can act big and bad all you want, but at the end of the day, the fans are the ones that are coming out, spending their hard-earned money to watch LeBron James play. I mean, if you're not going to play, then you need to make that clear like a week, 2 weeks in advance. Like, hey, I'm not playing, 2 Thursdays from now.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, what, did the fans not know? Like, say I was going to the Thunder Warriors game tonight, and KD, Steph, and Clay were sitting out. Would you still want to pay top dollar to go see the rest?
Probably
of them?
not.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, nobody wants to go and watch backups.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the day, and this is way back in the day. We're talking Washington Bullets, dude. Remember the Washington Bullets, man?
That,
dude. So yeah, me and my dad went, and we went and watched. My favorite team at the time was the Orlando Magic because I like Shaquille O'Neal, I like Penny Hardaway, and guess what? Neither one of them played that night.
So you were.
Oh my God, I was terrible. I mean,
heartbroken.
Yeah, heartbroken.
It's kind of the same thing. Like nobody wants to go to an NFL preseason game.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch backups play. That's why NFL preseason I think is a joke. Yeah. Like nobody wants to go and watch, Ryan Mallett throw passes.
But like the only people who would watch that are teams who are looking for a replacement somewhere.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean, or depth.
But I mean, for like owners and organizations are always like, well, we'll cut ticket prices down and we'll try to get you guys out because obviously, again, nobody wants to see backups. But again, if LeBron wants to stay in the game, I'm all for it. I think that's better for the game. Keeps it more competitive and what have you. But yeah, NBA looks like right now it's going into just topics. Looks like all right. What's your deal with LeVar Ball? As a father, what's your deal?
As a father, he's cool, I guess. I mean, he's just doing what a dad would do, be proud of their kids. But like,
do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too much?
Yeah, he's a douche. He's a douche. I think he is. I think he is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, he's saying like he could ball up on Jordan and stuff like that in his prime. I'm like, I don't know about that, man. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
I think where are they? All three of them playing in Lithuania? LaMelo.
As far as right now,
I think they're all playing over there, and it's like, yeah, they might be doing good over there, but Lithuania probably doesn't have the same amount of talent as the NBA and all that would when they come back, right?
Yeah, and
the one almost was in jail for the rest of his life in China for shoplifting. So
yeah, I don't know, man. They're gonna do their thing in Lithuania, but I mean they can ball. They can ball.
The Ball family can ball.
Yeah,
big baller brand.
But
yeah, like he has a shoe that's like $500 or something, like just off their names, really. You know what I mean? From college. I don't know, man. I think he's kind of a douche. But like you said, from a dad standpoint, like doing his thing, just cheering his kids on, obviously he's pretty cool. But the media and stuff, he can relax on a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just what I think, man. I don't know.
So Boone, let's talk about a little bit of football. Kick us off with a little bit of NFC West. Hit us up with the Cardinals. We're going to go into, like I said, if you guys are a Seattle Seahawks fan, an Arizona Cardinal fan, a 49er fan, or Los Angeles Rams fan, this is going to be the episode you guys want to tune into. This is going to be all football, NFC West Conference. Hit us up on YouTube. Give us a call. Up here, 267-629-2165. Call us. Let us know how bad we suck. Yeah. Or if you guys want to talk about your team or comment on something that we do, just hit us up, give us a call. Boone, start us off with a little bit of cap space. What do we got for the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks?
Rams, cap space. They're like, well, the Rams, they just made a crazy trade with Marcus Peters, who I think is a great pickup. If they can bring back Tremaine Johnson too, then they got a good cornerback duo. And if they bring back, like we were talking earlier, Joyner, who's the other safety's Roby Nickel. Like that's a pretty good secondary, dude, and that could arguably become the best in the West. You know what I mean? That secondary. Yeah. But I think with the Peters trade, the Rams are going to let Tremaine Johnson walk. And there's been rumors that if they let Tremaine walk, the Seahawks would release or trade Richard Sherman and then go for Tremaine. Which, what do you think? Do you think that's a good style pickup, or do you think it's the same exact player you're getting? But Tremaine's younger, and you know he's not coming off an injury because Sherman's coming off a blown out Achilles. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I honestly think, in my opinion, Rams need to cut Tremaine Johnson, and the reason why is because dude, the guy's so much money.
Yeah.
There's so much money. I mean, what was his tag last year was what, 16 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah, 16 mil. I mean, at the end of the day, is Tremaine Johnson, is he the number one cornerback? Because he's getting paid like it. Is he the number one cornerback?
I think he's good, man. I don't know if he's the number one, though. I think Marcus Peters is going to be a beast, though, like where he goes. So that's why I'm saying if Tremaine Johnson and him stayed together, that'd be a pretty tough duo, the pass one. And you're playing the Cardinals, who don't even have a quarterback, so you know they're going to shut down them. Then you're playing Jimmy G, who some say is the savior of the 49ers. We'll see when he plays a whole year, but he could struggle. And then Russell Wilson, unfortunately, literally has no game, like no run game, so he has to pass.
Oh, we got a call?
Yeah, we got a call.
All right. Who we got?
Hey there, who's calling in?
This is Kirsten.
Hey, Kirsten, how are you?
We should have known. We should have blocked this number when we had the chance.
No, Boone, shut up. Don't be rude.
I'm kidding.
What do you got for us, Kirsten?
This is Kirsten.
Hey, Kirsten, how are you? We should have known.
Did we lose her?
No, you didn't lose me. It's still late. I'm trying to watch me on the TV. Here. No, it's actually Jason. Here he is.
What's up, Jason?
How about them Eagles?
Hey, man.
They suck. They suck.
No, hey, congratulations, man. The Super Bowl, that's a big thing. I got to give a shout out to the Eagles. I didn't think you were going to beat the Patriots, man. Tom Brady's tough to beat in the big game. The only, literally, actually, thinking about it, the only team that's actually been able to beat Tom Brady are NFC East teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys are in there with the Giants, being able to take down the king.
Shout out to Alshon Jeffrey playing with that torn rotator.
Yeah, shout out to Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah,
that was pretty big.
That is pretty crazy.
But, what do you think is going to happen with Nick Foles?
Where's he going? Yeah, I've been talking a lot. I've been talking a lot with some Eagle fans at work. I think they're going to keep Nick Foles as a backup just because obviously we know Carson Wentz is going to be the future for the Eagles, right? But we don't know what the health is for Carson Wentz right now. And nothing helps a team better than having security as a blanket. So having Nick Foles still under Doug Peterson and that offense, which, I mean, look, Nick Foles and Doug Peterson, they go together right now like peanut butter and jelly. I'm serious. Like, there's no stopping those guys. Like, Doug Peterson found something in Nick Foles to allow him to become a really good quarterback. Now, a lot of teams are going to say, hey, you know, we need a quarterback. We would love Nick Foles. But, I mean, in order for the Eagles to give up Nick Foles, a team's going to really have to give the Eagles some sort of wild package in draft picks for the next couple years, or they're going to have to trade somebody big. Now, I know the Eagles are they're struggling a little bit when it comes to the cap space this year. I know they're last. Right now, they're looking at $9 million over the cap. So they're going to have to make some spots change there. But to me, Jason, I think Nick Foles stays.
Yeah.
I heard some crazy stuff that he's going to the Vikings.
Oh man. Here's my thing. If he goes to the Vikings, and this just might be just me, but I honestly think that Nick Foles is a product of Doug Peterson. So even if a team says, "Hey, I want to take Nick Foles on," I still don't think Nick Foles is going to do anything like he did in Minnesota that he's done in the past 7 games for the Eagles. I honestly think, hands down, if you're Nick Foles and you just want a ring, why not stay? And if the Vikings are going to say that they want Nick Foles, then the Vikings are going to have to give the Eagles some sort of wild package come draft picks or something like that. And I really don't know if Nick Foles is going to be the value that the Vikings are going to want with what the Eagles are going to request. So I think you're good, man. I think it's going to allow Carson Wentz that much more time to heal, to come back when he's ready, instead of being like, well, we got rid of Foles. We need you now, man. Like, you got to jump in. If you're not fully healthy, it's on you, man. We need you. So I think he stays. I think you're good, Jason.
I think he probably wants to stay, but I don't think at the end of the day it's going to be his decision.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you look, like, again, the only downfall that the Eagles have right now is that they're over in cap space by $9 million. Now, Nick Foles is going to cost $8 million come 2018. So if they get rid of him, they're still going to be over the cap by $1 million, or give or take. But does the $8 million that you're giving Foles, does that, when it comes to relevance, is it worth giving him $8 million, keeping him on the roster, and making a move somewhere else in the roster just to have? Because obviously the quarterback position's the most prominent position in your roster, so you always want to make sure the quarterback position's good. So I think, to me, honestly, I think somebody on the defense side is going to wind up going. Whether that's going to be Graham. Cox and Jimmy, they're good. They're gonna stay. I mean, that's probably the best defensive line I've ever seen. Really, I mean, they're solid. But I think maybe you might have somebody like
they're gonna lose Nigel Bradham.
Yeah, Nigel Bradham.
For sure.
Yeah, and maybe somebody in the secondary.
Burton.
Oh, Trey Burton? Yeah, Trey Burton's gone. I think Trey Burton... We're going to talk about Trey Burton a little bit here later. Dude, honestly, if you're a team out there that needs a tight end, Trey Burton, hands down, I would take him.
I think Torrey Smith's going to get cut, too.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I crapped on Torrey Smith a lot because I thought that, Torrey Smith was not going to be a wide receiver that I thought anybody should have grabbed. But... you guys grabbed him up, and he actually did pretty okay. I mean, I thought the receiver that was the best that stepped up was Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I mean, you guys...
It's a complete 180.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's starting too
now, Jason, just telling everybody out here, Jason is a diehard Eagles fan. I mean, diehard. So, mad props to you finally getting that ring and finally seeing your team win. Now, for you, as an Eagle fan, what do you guys think you need to do in the offseason to either stay on this and keep yourself as a quote-unquote maybe a dynasty or, a repeat Super Bowl?
I think we're going to put it in the hands of Carson Wentz.
Yep.
And let it ride.
Let it ride.
Yeah. Who are you?
Kirsten's back. Here I am.
Hey, Kirsten.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Listen, I'm not even a diehard Eagles fan. Okay.
I know you're a Steeler fan.
Steelers all the way, baby.
Yeah.
But listen.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even likely that the Eagles were going to win this year.
No.
They did.
Not even close. And
so if Carson Wentz can take them the whole way, shit, yeah, they're going to be a dynasty.
Yeah. I mean, if they, I'll tell you this: if the Eagles somehow, some way are able to keep the defense that they have, that defense is scary, scary. I'm just going off of.
I was surprised what they did to the Vikings defense in the playoffs.
Oh my God, yeah.
They made the
Vikings defense I thought was hands down gonna actually destroy Nick Foles. Nick Foles came out and made the Vikings defense look like the Pittsburgh Steelers defense against the Jaguars, which I was just like, this is trash, trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think if they keep, the defense, they're gonna be solid.
And as long as they keep working as a team, I think
working as a team,
onto something. Like
hey,
they finally got it.
And sometimes that's literally the best way to put it. Once you get over the hump, I mean, everything else seems like it kind of like connects like Legos. Look at if you look at teams that have gone out and won it. Like look at the Golden State Warriors. They had that dynasty the very first time they won it. Now they're constantly in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You had the New England. We'll go to the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots. Back with Bledsoe. I mean, come on, man. You got Tom Brady that stepped in. He won the Super Bowl. 5 times now. He literally by himself. If he had beaten the Eagles, he would have tied the Steelers for the most Super Bowls, and he's just a single dude.
Yeah,
I'm so glad he lost. So glad he lost. But thank you, Eagles. Yeah. Thank you guys for calling in. We are going to talk about the NFC East. Probably either next week or the following week. We're going to do conference by conference, and we're definitely going to talk all Eagles, a little bit of Cowboys, Redskins with what we can talk about, and the Giants.
So we say fuck the Cowboys, and we're absolutely ready for that. And let's return to basketball. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for calling in.
Have a great night.
See ya. Eagles, man, solid team. But see, people talking about right now, like you said, Nigel Bradham looks like he's going to be he's top dollar on the market. But again, like we said, Eagles are right now over the cap by $9 million, so they're gonna have to make roster moves. But I do like Nick Foles staying.
Yellow, thank you for calling on a further review.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
It's going pretty good.
What's going on, man?
I just want to ask you guys a quick question.
Yes, sir.
You got a medal count?
What's that?
For the Olympics. You have the medal count for the Olympics.
The medal count, the last time I checked, I think, United States had 7.
We're still getting stomped out, but...
Well, hey, shout out to the ladies in hockey, man.
Oh, winning gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times... how many times do we actually realize, not discriminating, but I keep forgetting, women's hockey's pretty badass.
Yeah.
If you actually watch it, it's pretty legit.
But the medal counts. Norway's spanking it with 38.
Norway, man.
Germany's got 28. Yeah. Canada's got 29. U.S. has 23.
I mean, we're in there.
But again, we have 9 golds to Norway's 13. So really, when we play, we go for gold because we're America. You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing is, the countries that are doing the best in the Olympics, if you noticed, most of them live in mountainous areas. Like it's always winter all the time. How are you not good at snow Olympics or winter Olympics? Yeah. Oh my God! But
Shaun White.
Hey, shout out to Shaun
White.
White.
That's what I was gonna say. Shaun White.
Yeah, Shaun White, baby.
I was so pumped when he won.
But hey, you know what? Hats off to the United States for just competing. We at least we're getting some medals. I mean, we could be like other countries and not have really anything to show for, but we're standing our ground. We'll get them back in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
man.
The Summer Olympics.
We'll get them.
We'll get them. House in the Summer Olympics, So.
Oh man, but yeah, USA all the way, man.
You got another question?
Yes, I do have one more question for you.
What you got, man?
I know he did.
Hey, what do you think about the wide receivers in the free agency? Who do you think Who do you think is going where? Who do you think some of the best? Who do you think the Ravens might get?
Yeah,
the Ravens. They have us linked to Paul Richardson from the Seahawks.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why? If we pick him up and we get an offensive tackle in the first round, dude. I'll be so disappointed in the Ravens, seriously.
Yeah. Dude, here's my thing. As for the Ravens, right now, let me just give you a little spit of where we're at salary cap so we can kind of work with it.
Pretty much dead last.
Well, not really. Well, yeah, pretty much. We got 10 million to play with. A little over 10 million to play with. So when you look at the big scheme of things, what wide receivers out there can you get on a deal for maybe 2 years, 5 mil, 2 years, 6 mil, or you can do a 1 year, 8 mil, but you don't want to really strap yourself too much because you got other places that you want to plug in. Now, the wide receivers, obviously Jarvis Landry was the big top dollar wide receiver in free agency. We're talking free agency, not teams that are going to be cutting players here shortly to free up money. So just in free agency, Jarvis Landry, he got franchise tagged by the Dolphins, so he's off the market as of right now. Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins is a hit or a miss. Now, I did look at some stats. Go ahead. Do you like Sammy?
I like him. I like Sammy. I think with a good quarterback and everything, I think he's going to do good.
Yeah.
Dude, Jarvis Landry's not off the table. They're saying that they franchise tagged him, so
Jarvis Landry.
But the thing of it is, in order for him to be not on another team, they're gonna have to make a deal that's more than the franchise tag that the Dolphins gave him.
And trade and the Dolphins are probably gonna want to.
You're really going to have to package something really big.
They're definitely going to want a second round, if not first.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, Sammy Watkins, going back to you, the only thing that I will say about Sammy Watkins is, stat-wise, for the next year after a player has pretty much 20% of his receiving catches went for touchdowns, the very next year, the production's always gone down. It's gone down with Moss. It's gone down with Driver. Pretty much anybody that's ever done it. The very next year, they've always struggled. They weren't what they were the year before. Now, Sammy Watkins is going to be a great deep threat. He had 593 yards last season with 8 touchdowns, so he's going to be pretty solid. But I don't think he's going to go to the Ravens. The one player that I think might have a shot at going to the Ravens could be Allen Robinson from the Jaguars. And the reason why is because he's coming off of an ACL injury. Okay, and what the Ravens are going to need to do is they're going to have to give that 1 or 2 year show me money. You know what I mean? So they can get a bargain deal off of a guy that had an injury. He can't say that last year was top dollar because, Sammy Watkins could say, look, I put up the numbers last year. I want to get paid like it. And Allen Robinson really doesn't, he doesn't have 2 legs to stand on for that because he was out in 2016. Or 2017. So I think if the Ravens are smart, they go out and they get Allen Robinson, okay, and then go out in the draft and get another receiver. Get Cortland Sutton. Go get Marcel Aitman. Some of these, actually, Marcel Aitman could be the next Mike Evans. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but you need to go out into the draft and get these wide receivers. Look at the Steelers. The Steelers went Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown. They had those all at one time. It's all got to be, if you want to be the best, you got to draft like the best, and I think that's where it starts. But you guys will get a wide receiver in the free agency. I think it could be, Allen Robinson from the Jaguars or Marquise Lee from the Jaguars, either one. Or you can take a shot at Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor for a 1 year, 7 mil, 6 million. Be like, hey, show me that you can put up the 2016 stats.
Boom, boom, boom.
So, yeah, good call, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Kirsten giving us some love / do we only talk about sports? Serious question. Yeah. We're little sport guru junkies.
Geniuses.
We would talk. We can't really talk about politics because that's too touchy. And sports is what we live for, man. So yeah, pretty much sports. But we will talk a little bit about what we did this week.
What'd you do this week?
I redid my bathroom.
Look good.
Hey, it looks great. Kirsten, you have to check it out when you come over. And glad that you touched down here and Pennsylvania's safe. That was awesome. Can't wait to see you. So going off of where we're going with the NFC West, okay? We're going to talk about the Rams. Because the Rams right now are current hot topic. Because they just got Marcus Peters. Now, my big thing is I think that Marcus Peters, hands down, is going to be a better fit than Tremaine Johnson. The reason why...
He's a beast.
Marcus Peters is a beast. He's angry.
He does have problems, though, like when he threw the flag and stuff.
Well, I mean, sometimes in the heat of the battle, things get a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Granted, I think a lot of that came with the reason that Eric Berry was hurt. You know, Marcus Peters felt like he had to step up on that defense in the secondary and become the captain.
Yeah.
And because he became the captain, he thought he needed to be that badass.
Yeah.
Marcus Peters might have some on-field, temper tantrums, but the guy can play.
That's true.
But Tremaine Johnson is just too much money. Actually, Tremaine Johnson, and basically when I talk rankings, I always follow Pro Football Focus, and that's pretty much what you would see when you go to Monday Night Football and stuff like that.
Is it true Chris Collinsworth owns that or started that?
What, Pro Football Focus?
Yeah, is that true?
If it is, I'm done. I'm done. Chris
That's
Collinsworth.
Every time you read a player, it goes, now here's a guy like Chris Collinsworth.
Oh man,
I hate
that's why I'm surprised Al Michaels doesn't drink listening to Chris Collinsworth talk. Literally every time they're doing commentary, you always think that Chris Collinsworth is going to talk about the Bengals somehow. It could be the Bills and Jets, and he could be like, well.
And he hates the
Andy Dalton would be doing a lot better than these guys.
Yeah,
but no, Tremaine Johnson, going back, he's actually ranked 68th in PFF. Now, again, when PFF does their rankings, they take a whole lot of stuff into perspective to rank you.
Yeah.
But being 68, that doesn't tell me that you're worth $16 million. Granted, he does shut down some top players, but Pierre Garçon went off for 140 in that Washington Redskin game against the Rams earlier in the season, and some of that was on Tremaine Johnson, and that's Pierre Garçon. I mean, that was not Redskins, it was the 49ers. So, I mean, if Pierre Garçon's putting 140 up on you, granted, Pierre Garçon's like, mid-teens in PFF. I think he's 16, but you're number one in salary for cornerbacks. I mean, you shouldn't even be close to 68. I should be seeing at least 1 to 5 ranking.
Yeah, and
Marcus Peters is.
That's
who
the Chiefs got. The Chiefs got the top one of the top 5 in Kendall Fuller for the Redskins.
Again, and that's why I don't understand. If you're the Chiefs, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you have Marcus Peters. You're gonna get Eric Berry, and you just got Kendall Fuller.
Your secondary is awesome.
What are you doing?
It's dude. To me, that's dumb. I guess they just didn't want a no-fly zone.
Well, first of all, no-fly zone. They got to get the players to stay there to be the no-fly zone. You know what I mean? Or just keep ordering, Andy Reid, just keep ordering him large cheese pizzas. You know what I mean?
Well, hey,
that guy looks always hungry. He always looks hungry. Dude. Always. Like, he's on the sideline, and he wants a Philly cheesesteak.
But he totally forgot about Kareem Hunt in that playoff game. That hurt.
Oh my God.
You have, one of the best running backs in the league this year, and you don't even turn to him.
The game against the Titans, that pretty much...
The Titans were like, thank God.
That pretty much told me that, this is pretty much the end of the run for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That was it. Now, pretty much you have Travis Kelce, who is going to have to play with Patrick Mahomes, which, Patrick Mahomes is not going to take you guys anywhere. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that guy. I really don't.
He's got to play the Broncos twice.
Well, that division's getting a lot.
L's.
Well, the division's going to keep getting better because the Broncos are going to be starting to make moves. John Gruden just went to the Oakland Raiders, so he's going to change that face of that franchise around. Yeah. So if you're the Chiefs, and now all of a sudden you want to start rebuilding, Like, you were a top dog. You should have continued to stay it because you're only going to stay it for a certain period of time before you're gone. So, anyway, going off of the Rams, I think bringing in Peters, hey, that's a good move. I think you still need to go out and re-sign Robbie Coleman. I think you still need to go out. Your top, this is, in my opinion, for the Rams. Joyner, you have to sign. You have to sign, or give him a franchise contract. He might be looking at like 11-5, 12 for a 1-year franchise contract. Grab him up because literally he was, I think, the number 6 safety last year in the league. The dude went off. So keep him, keep Coleman. Now again, when you're talking defense, the things that I think you need to do is let Mark Barron go. Mark Barron was, if you guys don't know who Mark Barron came into the league from Alabama as a safety. Last year they converted him into a middle linebacker. Granted, he was second on the team with tackles, but Mark Barron is not a middle linebacker.
That's an NFC West thing because they did that with Deion Buchanan with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
he was like kind of badass safety and. They made him a linebacker. But the Ravens kind of do it too with Anthony Levine. He's a safety, but they kind of use him in linebacker packages sometimes. Yeah. So, as for me, I mean, you got to look at this. I'm going to tell you what they ranked defensively last year. And this is offense and defensively, but I'm talking defense right now. The defense was 12th last year, okay? Against the pass, they were 13th. Against the run, they were 28th. So that leads me to believe that their secondary was the strong point of that defense. Now, you bring back Joyner, you bring back Coleman, there's your secondary. Now you get Peters, and you could probably still, if you really wanted to, you could probably go and get Josh Jackson or Denzel Ward in the draft, both top corners. They might still be there when you get them. So you can have the no-fly zone coming up in Los Angeles. The issue that I have is going to be with the run, and if you cut Mark Barron, that's $10 million that you save. If you cut him now, If you cut Tavon Austin, there's another $3 million, and if you cut Robert Quinn, there's another 11.5. So you can get up to $24 million on 3 guys, right? That weren't even relevant to you last year anyway. Now Robert Quinn is probably the only guy in that scenario that they might keep, but they'd have to restructure his contract. Because he had 8.5 sacks, but only 21 tackles. So, and Robert Quinn, last year, didn't rank too well in Pro Football Focus either. I believe what he ranked last year was like 86. So he was up there. Connor Barwin, he's up there at 103. So your outside linebackers are trash, pretty much. So you can, if you, and both of them are going to be. Connor Barwin's a free agent, and Robert Quinn's probably going to get cut. So you can go in the draft or free agency. You got to get yourself an outside linebacker. That kind of speaks to, by the way, of how good that secondary was. If they weren't getting a rush on the quarterback and the quarterback had time, right, and the secondary still held strong, that's pretty impressive. You know, and that's what I'm saying. And I think here's if you're the Los Angeles Rams. The 5 things that you need to do this offseason. First of all, cut Mark Barron, cut Tavon Austin, automatic $13 million. Restructure Robert Quinn. You can get yourself maybe freed up to about $17, $18 million. You need to make Aaron Donald happy. That is the biggest thing. He's going to want top dollar, which is a $20 million, probably 5-year, 20. He's looking at $20 million a year. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to be roughly up like 5 years, $100 million. Yeah. Somewhere, 5 years, roughly, give or take, somewhere in that range, right? So you need to make him happy because last year he wasn't. And that is the number one thing the Rams need to do is shore up that he's happy. Because if he's not, I mean, the same thing's going to happen. The other thing that I think you need to do is go out and ensure a middle linebacker. Yeah. Right? And who loves playing in the Bay Area? Who loves playing in the Bay Area?
That's a free agent coming from Oakland.
Navarro Bowman.
My man. Let's go, baby. NaVorro Bowman. NaVorro Bowman is a veteran middle linebacker that can shore up that run. He can. Or you can go out and get Derek Johnson from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You need a veteran to go in there and teach these young boys how to stop the run.
Yeah.
Seriously, you really do.
The Ravens did that with Darryl Smith a couple years ago.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
Ray left.
That's what I'm saying. So go out and get yourself a middle linebacker like NaVorro Bowman or Derek Johnson. Don't go out and get somebody like Zach Brown, Preston Brown, somebody that just had a lot of tackles but still played on a crappy defense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You need to go out and get somebody that is proven. Mm-hmm. Both of those guys are proven. I would take both of those guys in a heartbeat to play on the Steelers. Because, hell, we need middle linebackers all day now. Yeah. Shout out Ryan Shazier. I hope everything's going well with the rehab. Wish you all the best, and love for you to return.
He said he's going to play again, but I don't think he is, man. I think
it is going to be tough for him to come back. That was a nasty injury. We got... We'll get to that. Alex Smith going to the Redskins. Alex Smith going to the Redskins, I think, is actually... we'll talk about that later, but I like it.
Dude, I like it. Is there another quarterback who has been like... Dude, he did so well for the 49ers. Yeah, get out of here. He did so well for the Chiefs. Yeah, get out of here. And, now he's at the Redskins where he's like, if I lead you guys to the playoffs, are you guys just going to trade my ass? In the offseason?
Well, here's my thing. Ready? It's all going to depend on John Gruden and the coaching staff to allow Alex Smith to be Alex Smith. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody tries to, with Alex Smith, they all get on him because he's so conservative, because he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but he doesn't make a lot of gambles, in the game to try to, push for a win.
Yeah.
I like the conservative a little bit more because the game is all about inches. And if you're going to be gambling all the time, mm-hmm. I mean, that's no way to play. You know what I mean? Hold the ball. The guy can run. Alex Smith, the difference between Alex Smith and Kirk Cousins is Alex Smith can run.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins looks like Joe Flacco in the pocket. I mean,
Flacco is slow. Flacco has to be the
slowest
quarterback.
What I'm saying is Kirk Cousins, he's not a running quarterback. You know what I mean? He only runs because the offensive line for the Redskins is that bad. But
but dude, Alex Smith going to the Redskins, he's playing in a tough division, Super Bowl champion.
It's going to be a tough division.
You got
Dallas, really is going to be tough.
Zeke's coming back and he's hungry.
That is going to be nasty. But for the Rams, they don't really have to do a whole lot. I mean, they went 11-5 last year. I thought that they were one of the better teams in the NFC. I thought. Before playoffs, I had them going to the Super Bowl.
I did too.
I thought they were going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think on offense, they did great.
I shout out to Cooper Kupp because I had you in fantasy. I don't know how he saved me a couple times, but
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, good old Kupp, man.
Oh man, yeah. Offensively, they ranked 10th. They were actually number 1 in points. 8 in the run, 10 in the pass. So they were right there.
That's because Todd Gurley, man.
Well, Todd Gurley's a beast. But what I think that they need to do, they're free agents this year. They need to re-sign John Sullivan, who's the center. Bring him back. They got a pretty good offensive line. They might want to add a right guard, just because Jarman Brown Jarman. I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in him. He actually ranked the worst in the offensive line. Andrew Whitworth is a beast.
Yeah,
dude is legit. But that offensive line's great.
What do you think of Jared Goff's play last year?
Jared Goff did pretty good. He proved me wrong because I thought Jared Goff was not going to be anything coming into the NFL. If you looked at his rookie season, he was terrible.
Yeah, I believed in him from the draft, but then his rookie season happened, and I was like, "Oh, this guy sucks."
Yeah, the one thing that I think the Rams are going to do, they're probably going to try to see if they can re-sign Sammy Watkins. If they don't re-sign Sammy Watkins, because the Rams don't have, I think they got $40 million in cap space to play with. If they make the moves to, cut Mark Barron, cut Tavon Austin, look for them to make a push for maybe a Dez Bryant.
Or the Packers are willing to trade Jordy or Randall Cobb.
Right. They might make a push for that next big wide receiver because that's really they have Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, to me, hands down, as a great tandem. But
they need that.
They need that next.
Yeah.
They need that next level, and I think that's where it comes. Des Bryant, maybe Emmanuel Sanders or Demarcus Thomas, or Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas.
You know, one of those guys could go, and that offense could blow up. So, really offensively, just re-sign Sullivan. Maybe get Josh Klein or another, Jari Evans or something to do better on the right guard. But other than that, pretty solid. But the defense, again, you pretty much freed it up with Marcus Peters. You brought it in, so Tremaine Johnson is
gone.
Right.
He's gone.
So, in my mind, you guys are fine. I think as far as right now, I still think the Rams are the guys to beat in the West. In my opinion. I still think they're the team to beat in the West.
You don't believe in Jimmy G?
Hold on, though. Hold on. But I will say the team that is going to be right on their heels is the 49ers. And that's the team that we're going to go into next. The San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G could wind up making that team unstoppable. If here's the big if, they need to go out and build around Jimmy G. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
They need to do it. Carlos Hyde's a free agent. Do you think they're going to re-sign Carlos Hyde? No.
I don't know.
say no.
They have no one else, though.
Right. I'm going to tell you who they need to get, right? Because in cap space, right now, the 49ers... Sitting at $74 million.
Yeah, they can make
$74 million. And that's with Jimmy J's contract. With Jimmy J, they're sitting at $74 million. $74 million! With the most expensive quarterback on your team. They have a lot to play with. And guess who I think they're going to get at running back? I'm going to rebuild the 49ers right now on this show offensively. Here we go. The guys that I think that they need to go out for, right?
Okay.
Dion Lewis, New England. Why? Jimmy G. Knows how to play. You need to get a running back that is versatile in the run and in the pass.
And you're going to use him for every down back.
And well, hold on. Right. So, Dion Lewis, in my opinion, is somebody that you would look at. The other guy that you could look at is C.J. Anderson from the Broncos. C.J. Anderson was the number 6 back last year, playing on a crappy Broncos team. I think C.J. Anderson could be the difference in that offense in the run game. The run game last year for the 49ers was 21. They were in the bottom half of the league. Mm-hmm. Carlos Hyde, he was still in the... I think he was like 52, 54 in PFF. I think they go out and they get either C.J. Anderson or Dion Lewis, and who do they need to push that ball through the end zone in tough situations? LeGarrette Blount. Yeah. LeGarrette Blount and C.J. Anderson could revive that run game real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yeah. I think. They got the money to do it, and LeGarrette Blount really... He plays for Snickers bars and maybe a couple dollars. His last contract looked like a paycheck that I had last week. I mean, he doesn't play for a lot of money. And Dion Lewis is going to want some money.
And who do they pick up at receiver?
Receiver? Oh, there's a lot. Again,
did they make the trade?
For who?
Make the trade. Dez?
It could easily go to Dez. I mean, right now you're looking at Pierre Garçon, who was number 16 in PFF, Marquise Goodwin, 26, and Trent Taylor was 61. Trent Taylor was at... He's kind of a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he should be on New England, not the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I think they could go out with Des Bryant. But there's some other players that they could go out with in free agency. Now, again, they don't have to worry about cap space.
Yeah. They can make a splash.
One guy that I think... So, Pierre Garçon is like a number 2. He's not extremely fast. He's physical. He can. I mean, his hands are pretty good, but can he stay healthy? Marquise Goodwin is like a Tyreek Hill. He's fast, right? Yeah. His vertical and go routes, perfect, good. What are they missing though? They're missing a tall wide receiver in the end zone, right?
They can jump up and get.
And they're missing somebody that can run, short digs, posts, something inside the numbers. And I think somebody that could do that, in my opinion, would be Emmanuel Sanders or Demaryius Thomas. Somebody that can actually stay physical inside the numbers, and they could easily make a trade for one of those two. The other two that could be on the radar there, we'll see what happens with Randall Cobb. What do you think Randall Cobb? I mean, how healthy do you think Randall Cobb can be? What is his production going to value for 2018? I mean, Randall Cobb could go to the 49ers for really cheap because the production looks like it's dropping because of injuries. But, again, you put him in Jimmy G in an offense with Kyle Shanahan, I think you need to build the 49ers offense like the Atlanta Falcons 2016 team.
Yeah. So you
need to go get a Julio, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't get a Julio in the free agency because, the team re-signs or whatever, it doesn't look like free agency right now. There's that Julio Jones out there. They might go out and get somebody like a Courtland Sutton or somebody in the draft that they can turn into a Julio Jones. They need a big body wide receiver, 6'4", 235, 240. Dude can just ball. He's physical. He's hard to bring down. And Dez used to be that. But now I don't know what he is.
Or coming off an injury, who they're saying could be cut, is Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall. But see, again, Brandon Marshall's right on that Randall Cobb level where it's like, if a blade of grass is just a little too high and it wasn't cut on the right angle, he could be done for the season.
But if he's not, he's a beast.
He's a beast. I mean, you could throw Crabtree in that. You think Crabtree would go to the Bay Area? He's already in it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to move.
What's he got to do? Cross a bridge?
Right. Or ask Alib Talib for his chain back. One of the two. So he can get a bus fare. But yeah, I think honestly this would be the dream spot for Dez Bryant, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, somebody that's a vet, proven, and can be physical inside the hash. And can put up numbers, man. Really just put up numbers. And they could go out, again, I'm going to do this for a lot of teams. Terrell Pryor, one and done, prove it deal. Money on the table. Look, here's $5 million. You're either going to do well and make me, a Super Bowl contender, or you're gone next year and it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
How are you 6'3", 6'4", and you only put up like 217 yards in Washington, but you put up over 1,000 yards in Cleveland?
Now, he was the only player in Cleveland.
But you would think in Cleveland that they would just triple, quadruple covered, Terrell.
Yeah.
And at that time, have somebody in Section 17, Seat 35 take over. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think Cleveland remembers 2016 because they were probably all drinking. So
it sucks though trying to rebuild a team now when you
it is tough because a lot of teams are going to be cutting players, and it's not really fair because again it's tough. We could be right now. We could tell you, look, the Rams are going to do this, 49ers are going to do this. Come March 20th, who knows who's cut from a team to make salary, Yeah. But as of right now, we want to do this because we want to show you guys that we're talking about stuff before it happens. So if Dez goes to San Francisco, we're letting you know, hey, we were the ones that actually were predicting something like that. But I'm telling you right now, the 49ers will go out in free agency and they will get either one or two big-name receivers, at least one. And then in the draft, they're going with another receiver. They got to build Jimmy G his offensive weapons.
You know what their defense was ranked last year?
Yeah. The 49ers defense last year was ranked 24th. They were ranked 22nd in both pass and rush and 25th in points.
So they can go right across at their division and bring over Tremaine.
They could get Tremaine Johnson. Absolutely. He
Malcolm
could be
Butler.
A great fit. Well, they could get Malcolm. See, but again, what's Malcolm going to want? I mean, Malcolm's probably going to want top 10 cornerback money, so he's probably going to want 11, 12 million a year. Is it wise to go out and spend what could be close to $30 million in 1 year on just 2 cornerbacks? Maybe. I mean, your defense was bad.
Yeah.
But I still feel like the offense needs a little, like, if you're gonna go out and do it, you got to make sure that your franchise quarterback is always upright. You know what I mean? So work on that offensive line, which I think this would be a great spot for somebody like Andrew Norwell from Carolina, who is a top 5 guard. Go out and ensure that offensive line, because the offensive line is really not that bad. Tackles, Joe Staley was ranked 2. Trent Brown's ranked 21. Guards, Lincoln Tomlinson was 32, and Brandon Fusco is 21. They re-signed Daniel Kilgore. He was 23 on a 3-year deal. So Joe Staley's 2. Your other guys are low 20s, low 30s in rankings. You still kind of want to get that guy that's either top 10 or in the teens in the offensive line to help out Jimmy G. But again, you're right. I think they need to look at the defense a lot on this. Tremaine Johnson could easily go to the 49ers if he's pissed off that the Rams let him go. Why not play him twice a year and just destroy Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods? Just shut him down.
And there's a guy that's kind of flying under the radar in the free agency of Kyle Fuller, who's from the Bears. Who's
Kendall Fuller's brother.
Yeah, and he could be a guy that you could plug in and start, you know what I mean? Next to a Tremaine. That would probably he might go cheaper than Malcolm Butler. But like we were saying, Aqib Talib could get cut, but he's most likely going to want top dollar.
Yeah.
But he's kind of on that back end.
Somebody that I think that the 49ers should go with to stop the run is Dontario Poe.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
They need to get somebody inside because, look, Armstead, they got DeForest Buckner. He was actually really good last year. They need to get that big body inside to stop the run. I think Dontario Poe is definitely fits the mold. He has been known to sign 1-year contracts on prove-it deals. Atlanta did it. So why not do it in San Francisco?
Well,
see what he's got.
Foster, their starting middle linebacker.
He's in trouble with the law, man.
Yeah,
he's in trouble with the law.
To jail, I think.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Reuben Foster because he might not be able to play this year, or he might be suspended for a lot of time.
Yeah,
a lot of time.
So they might be in the market for a linebacker.
Yeah, so I think what they need to do offensively, they need to go out, first things first, they need to go out and get the run game established. They need to go out and get a big body back, and they need to go out and get somebody that's good in the pass game as well.
Saquon Barkley.
So they could get Saquon Barkley, but I don't think he's going to be there. They're going to have to trade. They're going to have to trade up because they're ninth.
At 6. Oh, ninth. They're ninth.
Ninth. So they're going to have to trade up to get Saquon. He's not going to be there. So what I'm saying is, I think, in my opinion, you go out and get somebody like C.J. Anderson. You go out and get somebody like Garrett Blount on a really low deal. Now you got somebody that can go. CJ can pretty much be a 3-down back if you want him to.
He can.
But now you can do first and second down. CJ, third and short. LeGarrette, red zone offense. Boom, put LeGarrette in. LeGarrette's still a beast, and he's going to come in a bargain contract, which is amazing. Because now, if you got $74 million and you can get your running back situated for roughly in that mold of maybe you're only paying like $11 million a year just for 2 guys. I mean, you still have over $60 million to play with.
Yeah.
So go out and get Dontario Poe. Put him in the run game to help stop that terrible rush defense that they got going on in San Fran. And again, you need to go out and get a linebacker or 2 in this. So I don't see Navarro Bowman coming back. They could go out and get a Derek Johnson, maybe. But when we talk about playmakers, maybe DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys ends up here. You're going to want somebody that can rush the quarterback, get pressure. DeForest Buckner can. Maybe you need somebody on the outside. Solomon Thomas still needs to be proven, I think. But maybe you get somebody like a DeMarcus Lawrence. Maybe you go out and get somebody like Ezekiel Ansah. Depending on what kind of contract they're looking for, it might be something that they can go for. I'm not really sure what the 49ers are expecting to do, but if I'm the GM, I get a big D tackle, I put him in the middle, and then I go, their linebacker, their inside linebackers are terrible. Reuben Foster's not bad. He had a heck of a year, but I don't think he's going to play. So if you're going to be looking for linebackers, inside linebackers that is, you can go, Navarro Bowman's going to be out there, Zach Brown. I think maybe you can go out and get Paul Pulsnowski, who, I mean, he's on the older side, but he's a vet. Easily can be a plug-in. Or you go out and get Todd Davis from the Broncos. I know Todd Davis didn't really play last year, but he's a beast. And then the guy that just was cut from the Bears, Jarrell Freeman.
Yeah.
Again, off-field issues, but...
He saved somebody on a plane, didn't he?
Jarrell?
Dude,
Hey, if he saved somebody on a plane,
Look,
shout out Jarrell.
It was
you know,
like,
man.
It was before the season started, I think, and he saw someone choking.
Okay.
And he gave him the Heimlich and saved somebody. So if you sign him, you get more than an NFL player.
You do.
You get a lifesaver.
Yeah. Shout out Jarrell.
Yeah.
I really do hope he saves somebody on a plane.
I'm almost.
We're not.
I'm almost positive.
We got to look that up. We got to look that up.
I'm
But
almost positive.
yeah. So go out and get a middle linebacker. It's got to be a vet. It's got to be a vet because if you go out and get somebody that's young, they still have to learn a lot. Now check this out. The 49ers went out and got Lane Kiffin's brother. Do you know what he was signed on as to coach?
No.
He's a pass rush specialist.
They
Dude,
have
if you're
a job.
Elvis Dumerville on the 49ers and Kiffin comes in, he's like, I'm going to teach you how to pass rush.
And
If I'm Elvis Dumerville, I'm going to be like, look, little boy, I'm going to tell you to go get your Happy Meal and you can go sit in the corner because you're not going to tell me how to pass rush. Elvis Dumerville still balled out last year. My question is, why don't they play? What's up with Elvis Dumerville and not being played?
I actually did look into that.
Like
with the Ravens, he barely played. He's just like a pass. He's just a pass rush guy. I guess he wasn't grading out well in the like a pass coverage, defensive pass coverage, man, zone, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, we know when he goes after a quarterback, he just uses that bulldozer technique where, dude, he's short too. You know, he's.
Oh, I know, but so is Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, but Dwight Freeney had that spin move.
Yeah.
Which is like when he did the spin move, looked
like something at a carnival. Yeah, I got you.
But
the scrambler.
But Elvis Dumerville just so strong, man, up front to be able to bulldoze a right tackle or left tackle over.
Yeah,
he's a beast, man. But he could be a cap casualty.
He could
because on the fact that he's just kind of a pass rush guy. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do a lot other than that, or just be hurt. Because he missed like 8 games or something with the Ravens his last year because of a foot injury or something. So
yeah, I mean, so defensively, it's got to start with the front. You got to get somebody again, Dontario Poe or Star LaLuca from Carolina, which I think he might go to Arizona. But
Star,
Star. But go defensive line. Got to shore that up. Go out and get a middle linebacker because Reuben Foster isn't guaranteed. And then safety, Eric Reed is a free agent. I don't know if they're going to re-sign, Eric Reed. Their cornerbacks are Witherspoon and Johnson, and then the other safety's Colbert. The secondary is pretty bad. So Tremaine Johnson and Malcolm Butler could actually wind up going here, or I think Tremaine Johnson is a good fit there. Now Malcolm Butler, I don't know, or Talib might go there.
If Talib gets cut,
but I would agree with you that they got to go and they got to get a better secondary.
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing: we're talking corners right now, which they definitely need. But if Eric Reed leaves, depending on where they're at salary cap wise, they could go out and get Tyrann Mathieu. Because the Honey Badger looks like he's going to be leaving Arizona.
that's what it's looking like.
Let me tell you what. Right now, if you had Talib, you had Tremaine Johnson, you had the Honey Badger, and you had a front four that looked like Solomon Thomas. You got Dontario Poe, Buckner, and then Douzable on the other side with Dumerville. I think right there, you can contend for the West.
Yeah.
Okay,
but if you're Larry Fitz and that happens,
yeah,
you gotta be pissed. Like he's gonna watch the Honey Badger leave, and he's gonna be like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, but here's the thing with Larry Fitz. I love him, dude. He's our boy. We root for Larry Fitz all the time because we would love to see him win a ring. Here's my thing, though. Larry Fitz has put himself in the position where he knows the Cardinals are not going to win a ring while he's there now. He had the shot in 2009. I'm sorry, Larry. Steelers won. But
that or when Carolina knocked him out.
He should have left. And if you're an Arizona Cardinal fan, I know you love Larry, but you got to root for him. Like Adam Jones. Adam Jones in Camden Yards. You know he's not going to win a ring.
Yeah.
Just let him go out and win a ring, man. And just retire as an Oriole. Larry Fitz, go out and win a ring with the Patriots or something, man. Just retire as a Cardinal. But for the 49ers, a lot of big things are going to happen in the offseason. They're going to be one of the biggest contenders in the offseason. They got to go out and get the run game and another top receiver to allow Jimmy G to take over the West. I would say if it's not next year, I would say in 2 years, 49ers start watching out for. I really think they're going to be on the up and up. Really on the up and up. So
because the next one,
Seahawks.
They're like in self-destruct.
They're going the opposite direction that the 49ers are going. And the thing that's really bad about the Seahawks, they don't have, for a year that's going to be terrible, they don't have the cap space to help them out right now. They're at $14 million under the cap. They have $14 million to play with as of 2007, February 24th of 2018. You didn't know we were in a time warp, right? Can't even talk. Jesus.
But they don't even know if Cam's going to play again. Earl Thomas wants to be a Cowboy. I don't know why. Richard Sherman, there's talk that he might get traded or cut. But the biggest glaring thing with the Seahawks is, dude, they don't have any run game. You know how many guys they went through? Like starters, CJ Prosise, Cheeseburger Eddie. They had a bunch of guys, and Russell Wilson had to sling the ball like Brett Favre because the run game helped them out like not at all. Like there was none.
No. So what I think the Seattle Seahawks need to do, and we've talked about it, they have to free up space because right now it's not looking good. Now, question is, what do you do with Richard Sherman? In my opinion, Richard Sherman leaves. I don't know where he goes, but he leaves. Now, Richard Sherman, if he's going to play, don't know what his contract's going to look like, but Richard Sherman's going to want to play for a contender. So if he does, now, again, Richard Sherman could stay in the division. He could go to the 49ers, or he could go to the Rams, or if he really wants to, if he's smart, the team that he would probably want to go for is somebody in the AFC who usually winds up getting vets to win, and that'd be the Patriots.
Yeah.
I could see Sherman in a Patriot uniform. Because of, you mad, bro? Remember that with Tom Brady? I could see them squashing that and Tom Brady being like, yo, you want to win a ring?
Yeah.
And Sherman's like, yeah. It's like, you want to go to IKEA after this and eat? Yeah.
Well,
it's like,
dude, they got a bunch of question marks. Like I said, like with Cam, if he's going to play, Cliff Averill, if he's going to play, they're thinking about maybe cutting or trading Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
They have guys.
Michael Bennett's a head case, man. He really is.
Dude,
I mean, I'm all for his beliefs and what he wants to do, but to me, keep that stuff away from football. Like, I feel like he's more of a distraction for your team than he is production. Yeah. And that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's wrong for this and wrong for that on his beliefs, because I'll never judge somebody like that or say they can't do something. But on field, business wise, Like I just feel like you're more of a distraction than you're helping the team.
Yeah.
So I could see them. I could see
Wasn't
Bennett
that a
leaving.
Seahawk last year who was like trying to get into the stands to fight the dude?
Yeah,
Just like this
Yeah.
last season, he got ejected.
it was in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he got ejected and he was trying to crawl into the stadium or something. I was like, hey, by the way, great news. Jacksonville removed the tarp from
Yes.
the upper deck.
Yep,
They're gonna-
3,500 seats are going to be available in Jacksonville this year.
And
They're getting new uniforms.
And they will sell out all them seats due to Blake Bortles' new contract.
Oh, Blake Bortles with a 3-year, $54 million contract. Ladies and gentlemen, the
You're
worst
next.
off-season trade, or the worst off-season contract so far. Look, Blake Bortles, real quick, we'll get into it, just real quick. Blake Bortles, yeah, he went to the AFC Championship game, but look, again, I call this the Dilfer, because he only got there because they had such a good defense. So many teams and organizations think that if they get to the AFC Championship game, it was all because their franchise quarterback led them there. Like, my thing is, did Blake Bortles have a crappy season last year? No. Was he top 10? No. He was probably, in my opinion, battery died. Facebook, sorry, my phone died. Just hit us up on YouTube. We're still here. The link is under further review on Facebook, so just hit us up. Anyway, technology, man. But look, Blake Bortles was, I would say, top 15, maybe 12, 13, something like that. But all he did was manage the game. He didn't kill it. He wasn't an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady, but he wasn't a Brock Osweiler or a DeShone Kaiser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he worth $54 million for 3 years? No.
I guess he is now.
I mean,
you're.
that's rough.
I mean, if you guys want to go the route that the Ravens did, unfortunately, this hurts to say, but
Ooh.
you overpay your quarterback who you think's going to be that guy. Let's be honest, Flacco's a starting quarterback for us, but he needs a lot of help around him, man, and his contract just didn't let that happen. So, but with Blake Bortles doing that signing, Allen Robinson's definitely gone.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to sign him to a big
Well,
contract.
I mean, the Jags, we'll talk about them when we talk about the AFC South, but as far as the Jags, when it comes to salary cap, the Jags are kind of middle of the pack. They got $21 million to play with, so actually, I don't know if that's actually taken into account with Blake Bortles yet, so they probably have a little bit less. So, going back to the Seattle Seahawks, look, Russ Wilson right now is not concentrating about football. He's now with the minor league team for the Yankees, so there's that. Their run game, to me, needs to change.
That was bad.
Oh, man.
They had to rank last.
Well,
dude, I mean, I'm saying
they were bad. Yeah,
they had to be last, dude.
As if you're in Seattle, you have Russell Wilson. Okay, you need to do something in the run game to help Russell Wilson out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The pass game is only as good as the run game, and for me, the run game wasn't there last year. Their stats last year. Just in rushing, I'm going to pull this up. Their top rusher last year was Russell Wilson. Hold on. Everybody out there that didn't hear that, their top rusher last year was your quarterback, who rushed for 586 yards. The next guy was Mike Davis at 240.
Remember him?
Nobody does.
Call us in if you know the
call us if you know Mike Davis. Let us know how he is.
Cheeseburger Eddie?
I think Mike Davis actually got a part-time job at Denny's.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, good for you, Mike. Good for you. But no. If you think about it, their entire rush offense is terrible. I mean, just looking at this, you have Mike Davis, Chris Carson, J.D. McKissick. You had Cheeseburger Eddie, Thomas Rawls, who hasn't been relevant for a year now. Okay. You definitely need to go out and get somebody in free agency, and you need to go out and get somebody in the draft.
You knew the Eddie Lacy project wasn't going to work in Seattle when you had to sign a contract that he got paid if he lost weight. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, how did they think that was like, hey, dude, listen, if you can shed 25 pounds by this date, we'll give you 20 grand. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
That to me is like, that's pretty much guaranteed not to work, you know?
See, I honestly think that in Seattle, they don't have a lot of cap as of right now to play with to get a big name running back. But somebody that I think could maybe help a little bit might be somebody like Isaiah Crowell. Isaiah Crowell, I think, finished somewhere in between like 15 and 17 last year in running backs. He actually did pretty okay, and that was with the Cleveland Browns. Isaiah Crowell can bring a couple things for you. He's tough to bring down, and he does pretty good. I like backs that can catch because they're a dual threat. You know what I'm saying? They're not just the guy that's ground and pound, and when it comes to 3rd and 4 and you need to drop it to your hot, you know, he should be able to catch a ball in the flat and get 4 yards.
Yeah.
Isaiah Crowell could do that. The other guy that I could see maybe them trying to sign, keep it in the division, is Carlos Hyde. I think Carlos Hyde could easily... Look, anybody at this point is going to help out the run game. Yeah. But Carlos Hyde and Isaiah Crowell are the guys that could come in and make a splash immediately for you. And again, you can talk about LeGarrette Blount coming in, but I think those are the two guys right now in free agency that I would look at. Or check this out again, because we're talking now, and anything could happen.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff.
But there's two guys right now looking at it. DeMarco Murray could be a cap casualty, and Latavius Murray also for the Vikings could be a cap casualty. Both of those guys I can see coming in and helping out with that run, but they need to change the run. Need to get players in there.
Well, I don't see Latavius Murray getting cut because Jerick McKinnon just said he wants to be top dog. He's made it clear he's leaving the.
Well, then if he doesn't leave, the crop for running backs right now is just continuing to get shorter because right now you'll have like guys like Jeremy Hill, Shane Vereen, Orleans Darkwa. I mean, it's we're
at the end of the era.
We're pushing. So, I mean, the cap casualties I'm just reading here, most of them I wouldn't pick up. Matt Forte, no. Adrian Peterson, no. Leo Powell, not really. Jonathan Stewart might be the other intriguing guy to see what he's got, but and then you follow up with Robert Turbin and TJ Yeldon. So, no. I don't really have any faith in any of those guys to come in and help me out immediately.
But they are going to lose Jimmy Graham.
Where do you think Graham goes? Because I got some ideas in my head that I think Graham should go.
And he will go to the New England Patriots if Gronk retires.
Oh, I don't think he's going to retire.
I'm just saying, I've never heard Gronk say that before. If Ben Roethlisberger goes, hey, I'm retiring, everyone knows, all right, see you in August. But Gronk, like, that kind of came out of left field. Like, he was like, you know what, I got to think about my football future. And I'm guaranteeing you the Patriots were licking their chops at Jimmy Graham. But another team that could do it, Baltimore Ravens. They need a tight end, dude.
You think the Ravens could pick up Jimmy Graham?
I think so, because if the Jarvis Landry, whatever happened there with the franchise tag, they did try to trade for him. Obviously, it's probably not working out. I could see the Ravens trying to finagle something to get Jimmy Graham in Charm City. I'm being serious, man.
That's tough.
That's a bold thing there.
That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out for him. Look, I don't know if you guys have the cap to get him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're cutting for sure Jeremy Maclin, Ladarius Webb, I think, and Brandon Carr. I don't want to see... Brandon Carr can't cover that good, but he stayed healthy and he plays. But those three getting cut is like $12 or $15 million that we have. And you're going to spend all that money that you cut then for Jimmy. But, dude, we don't have a tight end, man. You know, we need somebody who's going to go in there.
Yeah.
Well, just a little off topic again. The Ravens, Crockett Gilmore, put on 60 pounds and moved.
Yeah, he wants to be his offensive line.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what he's eating, what he's doing in his free time. or what somebody put into his mind and head. But look, if he thinks he's going to be the next Villanueva for the Steelers, look, it's not going to happen. Look, Crockett, just go into coaching.
He did grade out as a good blocking tight end though, but he's only chip blocking.
Yeah, but he's not. And again, he's probably only getting he's chip blocking a defensive end outside linebacker moving on. What is he really going to do when it comes up to a really badass defensive end that he has to hold a bull rush the whole time?
He's going to
play in and play out.
Yeah, he's going to get ran over. But
that's going to be tough.
I don't know why all the Ravens fans out there are probably going, we have Max Williams and Nick Boyle, but it's like, dude, we've had them for a long time. They've never done anything. So
yeah,
I think it's time to move on from them too. You know. So.
Yeah. So for the Seattle Seahawks, the run game, they have to fix it. My opinion, you can get a Carlos Hyde or Isaiah Crowell. They could come in. Are they the answer? No, they're not the answer, but they're a quick fix, a little patchwork, really to help you guys move on, because it's bad right now. Wide receivers, it's kind of interesting. You were talking about Paul Richardson. Paul Richardson last year, 703 yards, 6 touchdowns. He is more of a number 2, maybe a slot, than he is going to be a number 1 for a team. Paul Richardson's probably 5'11", 6 foot. He's fast, but he's physical. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think the Seattle Seahawks bring him back because Paul Richardson, in his mind, thinks he's worth more.
Which he should know his worth. I don't think that
he really should know his worth. I don't see him coming back.
Dude, they had to pass almost every play because they had no running game. So, of course, you're going to have guys who are like, man, he kind of put up some decent numbers. But it's like, yeah, you have to do that when Cheeseburger Eddie's eating and not running the ball. You know what I mean?
So they're gonna have to go out and get a wide receiver as well. So basically, in a nutshell, the NFC West, everybody except for the Rams at this point need to work on their run game. We haven't gotten to Arizona yet, but we don't know where David Johnson is health-wise. Behind him is Adrian Peterson, and we know where he is. He's not the same AP that he was with the Vikings. He might have had that one game that was great with the Cardinals, but other than that, nothing.
But David Johnson he missed the season with a dislocated wrist.
Yeah.
Now he needs that. He's a beast. First of all,
he's a beast.
Like you were speaking earlier, that you need somebody who can catch and run. He can do that both. And rest in peace to everybody's fantasy football team out there that drafted him first pick. And just to watch him, out for the year, and just to watch your fantasy football team crumble. But dude, when he comes back healthy, that's going to be great news for the quarterback who's currently no one.
Yeah,
like they have some serious quarterback issues over there, man.
They do. They do.
I thought for sure Carson would lead him back to the playoffs again, but just being the USC curse, I don't think it'll ever happen, man.
Yeah.
It's just a curse coming from that school,
So, last on Seattle, they're going to be in the same game as pretty much the 49ers, pretty much the Rams. I mean, not the Rams, the Cardinals. They're going to need to go out and get a wide receiver or two. The draft is really going to be, in my mind, offensive. They're going to have to shore up that offensive line. They need to stop having Russell Westbrook be the leading rusher. And they need to get the pass game back. Doug Baldwin can't do it all. Tyler Lockett isn't a number 2. He's a Tyreek. He's a glorified 3, maybe. But, he's a Tyreek Hill. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they need to go out and get a wide receiver. They need to go out and get a run game. They're not going to have enough for Jimmy Graham. We'll talk probably where I think Jimmy Graham goes in a later segment, because I think Jimmy Graham will be coming to the AFC, but he doesn't come to the Patriots. I'll talk more off air with you when we go for that. But again, run game, get a wide receiver. Maybe Dez goes there. Maybe they really go get like Crabtree or somebody to help them out with the number 2 with Doug Baldwin, because Doug needs help. Shore up the offensive line with a left or right guard. Guard work needs a little bit of help. Defense, we remembered, man, Legion of Boom. You know what I mean? Like, they were scary.
But let me stop you there.
Yeah.
What did we say, and it's happening, we're seeing it now, what did we say that was going to be the end to them? The cap space.
Cap space.
We said, dude, they're signing all these guys back to like top dollar deals. That's gonna haunt them eventually.
Yeah.
And now here we are. They're going. Well, is Cam gonna play? You know, Bam Bam Cam, who first of all has to be the scariest dude if you're running across the middle.
Oh my gosh,
to try
yeah.
to catch the ball.
Yeah.
But I think Sherm's gone. Can you see him dealing Earl Thomas? He's one of the best.
No, they're going to re-sign Thomas. I think Thomas stays. They're going to probably try to keep Sherman, but they need to realize that it's probably better off that they get rid of him.
Yeah.
Just because of where they're at. Now, the one guy that is really screwing them is Cam Chancellor. Because, get this, I'm just going to read this out to you guys. Cam Chancellor, before 2017... signed a deal. It was a 3-year deal, $36 million. It included a $6.8 million base salary. That was guaranteed for injury this year. So he suffered a neck injury, right? Could be the end of his career. Guess what? Seattle still has to pay him.
Yeah.
Like, even if he doesn't play, Seattle has to play him. So that's kind of like the name of the game. If you give somebody a contract, you're hoping that they don't get injured, not a career-ending injury. I mean, look at Shazier. I mean, Steelers are going to have to make a after 2018 season. You know, are they going to re-sign him and hope that he comes back? I mean, I don't know. So again, defensively, they need to shore up. I think the front. Maybe Dontario Poe goes here. Maybe Benny Logan goes here. Somebody that helps stop that defensive run game. They're going to probably re-sign Earl Thomas. They're going to maybe have to go out. If they lose Richard Sherman, maybe this is where Malcolm Butler goes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe this is where they go out and get another cornerback that they can afford. They're not going to be able to afford Tremaine Johnson. They're not going to be able to afford Talib. Maybe Malcolm Butler, just because of how the situation ended in New England. So Seattle, actually, in my opinion, is going to be... It's probably going to finish third in the West this year. It's going to be tough. They in order for them to be a contender, they need to realize that the 2013-2014 Seahawks isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So let go of Jimmy Graham. Let him go. Let go of Sherman. Figure out what you're doing with Cam Chancellor. Re-sign Earl Thomas. And go out and rebuild in the draft. Rebuild in the draft. Use the draft as your secondary or your defensive side, and use free agency more for offense. Because, in my opinion, for Russell Wilson, he's going to need to have players that he doesn't need to teach right away. Somebody that they can plug in, and boom, offense is back. Because defense is going to take a while to get back to the Legion of Boom or the scary Seahawks that we're used to seeing. I still think Pete Carroll's a good coach, even though sometimes watching him, he oh God, it's rough. Yeah. But hey, they had a stat the other day. It said rah-rah coaches are actually the best coaches to have in the NFL. Rah-rah coaches are more, they don't actually tell you the scheme and teach you plays. They're more of the good job, like get in your face and tell you how much you suck. So the top two are Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll as like rah-rahs. You know, they're not calling plays. So they actually do pretty good if you're a cheerleader coach. So finishing up with the West. Again, as free agency happens, as the draft happens, we'll come back. We'll rehash these teams and see where they finish and start off the season as. But as of right now, we have the Rams taking the division again. 49ers right on their heels, depending on what they're going to do in free agency, what they're going to do in the draft. I like Kyle Shanahan. I like where they're going in the direction. Seattle Seahawks need a lot. Run game, number 1. Secondary, number 2. And the front 4 has got to be number 3. And now going to Arizona, the last team who will finish last. In my mind, there's only 2 quarterbacks out there that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to bring in. One is going to be Sam Bradford. The other one is going to be A.J. McCarron. Everybody will say, look, Arizona needs a quarterback. Why not go for Kirk Cousins? They don't have the money to go for Kirk Cousins. Right now, they have about $21 million to play with in the cap. Kirk Cousins alone is going to want over $24 million for a year.
Yeah.
They just don't have it. The other quarterbacks out there are Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater. We don't know what the Vikings are going to do. We don't know if they're going to actually go out and do the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. Are they going to be a participant in that? Now that Jacksonville has taken Blake Bortles. Maybe. But if you look at the salary cap for the Vikings are at $49 million, right? We'll talk about a little bit more about what they need to re-sign on their free agents, but are they going to have enough money to be in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes? I think the 2 teams that are going to vie for the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes are the Browns and Jets. And they just have the most money to use. I don't think the Broncos are going to be there because if you look at the Broncos cap space, the Broncos are sitting at 26. I don't see them being able to bring in Kirk Cousins. The only way that these teams with cap space right now that would be able to bring in Kirk Cousins is if they freed it up by just unleashing a lot of players. Which, what do you want to do? Do you want to hurt your team by letting a lot of players go? Or do you want to bring in Kirk Cousins? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I think A.J. McCarron or Sam Bradford. Now, I'm not saying that is what they need to keep as franchise, but if you look at A.J. McCarron, he's going to come at a cheap bargain. Sam Bradford, you can get a 1-year deal for a prove it. And they're better than Drew Stanton and Blaine Gabbert that you have now. You know what I mean? Those guys are free agents, so I don't see you re-signing those guys. So why not take a chance on A.J. McCarron? You know what I mean? Yeah. I know he's behind freaking Andy Dalton for 4 years, but hey, just give him a chance.
And his wife's a dime piece.
Is his wife hot? Shout out. But she was Miss Alabama. You know what I mean? It's
some Southern Bells, man.
Southern Bells. But anyway, so yeah, going off of that, I think they bring in somebody like Sam Darnold or A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron, I can see them doing like a Mike Glennon deal, a 3-year. Hopefully they don't overpay him. Sam Bradford, I see them bringing in like 1 year.
Yeah.
Something, whatever. Run game, we hope David Johnson comes back. He's solid. He's one of the best in the game. If you're Arizona, you give him the deal now before Le'Veon Bell gets this crazy-ass contract that is so absurd for a running back, it's insane. So get David Johnson hooked up on like a Devontae Freeman deal.
Yeah.
Something that a running back is normally capable of getting. Like Le'Veon Bell wants like the president's like salary and then some. Like nobody's gonna pay for a running back at $18 million a year.
The Steelers are.
They better not. We'll get into that. But yeah. So the run game's there. Segment. They still need. I still think they need a number 2 runner. Adrian Peterson, I don't believe, is the guy. I think maybe in this situation, maybe they go out and get somebody like maybe Shane Vereen goes here. Somebody that helps out in the pass game. So Jeremy Hill. There's another one. Yeah, take a shot on Jeremy Hill.
They love LSU players.
LSU, man. And if A.J. McCarron's going there's 2 Bengal dudes going to the same team. So, yeah, give Jeremy Hill a shot. I mean, whatever running back goes there, they know that they're not going to start. It's David Johnson's role. Wide receivers, you got Fitz. You got J.J. Nelson, who...
John Brown.
Well, John Brown and Jaron Brown are both free agents. So I think in my mind, I think this is probably the best landing spot for somebody like Terrell Pryor. Maybe somebody like Michael Crabtree. Somebody that maybe Larry Fitz is friends with that would like to play with Larry Fitz maybe in his last season.
Oh, this is definitely, I think Larry came back just to kind of do a goodbye tour.
Do a goodbye tour.
He's doing the Jeter.
Yeah.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer. So Terrell...
By hands down, he's Hall of Fame.
So Terrell Pryor could actually go there, learn a couple that's from a Hall of Famer, because really, Terrell Pryor is size-wise same as Larry Fitz kind of. But talent-wise,
it's
a little
not even
off.
comparable. So, yeah, I think, in my mind, I think the Arizona Cardinals need to go out and they kind of almost look like the Orioles in a sense, where they know this is Larry Fitz's last year. Why not just go out with a bang? Yeah. Just go out and get Michael Crabtree, go out and get Emmanuel Sanders or something. Not even worry about the offensive line, which still needs work. A lot of work.
The Cardinals just need a lot of work, dude.
Yeah.
That's a team.
They're going to re-sign Alex Boone.
That's my relative.
Boone. They're gonna re-sign him. I think they need to let Valdir go, and they need to bring in somebody like Andrew Norwell. I think they need to get both of their guards elite. Andrew Norwell's elite. Alex Boone, he's pretty good. DJ Humphries is probably going to come back and play tackle, and then you can throw somebody else at tackle that can help out. I don't know exactly going into the season who they're going to have at the other tackle if they let Valdir go, but Valdir's going to cost like $10 million if they keep him. But I like Andrew Norwell, and Andrew Norwell's a good fit because Steve Wilkes, who was the Carolina defensive coach, is now the head coach, and he brought the offensive line coach from Carolina, and that's where Andrew Norwell's played, was Carolina. So I think he would be a good fit. He just fit right in with the scheme because he knows it. Defensively, I honestly think that with Patrick Peterson on the other side, they bring back Tramon Williams. Tramon Williams did really good last season. Believe it or not even kidding you, I'm going to give you what Tramon Williams' PFF was last year. Tramon Williams was the 9th ranked cornerback last year in 2017. Tramon, at 34 years old. Patrick Peterson and Tramon actually weren't that bad. The safeties, I think everybody's talking about Tyrann Mathieu leaving. If Tyrann Mathieu leaves, then I think they need to re-sign Tyvon Branch at safety. They have Antoine Bethea, and they have Bubba Baker. Or Buda Baker. Buda Baker. Safeties are pretty... they're a dime a dozen right now in Arizona. They don't really have safety issues. It's really that third corner, who they're going to bring in, who are they going to get. Beachel's gone. So I think, in my mind, they're going to bring in a third corner. I'm not sure exactly who's on the market that they would want. Now, cornerback situations, I'm just going to read off to you some of these corners that could wind up finding a spot in Arizona. Malcolm Butler's not going to get there. We talk about Malcolm. We talk about Tremaine Johnson. They're the top dogs. But, again, in order to get those guys, your pockets have to be fat. And Arizona does not have fat pockets.
No.
Not at all. So, here are the corners. Again, Tremaine Johnson, Malcolm Butler, no. You got Vontae Davis. No, I don't see him coming. But Aaron Colvin for the Jaguars would be interesting. I would like to see him or Kyle Fuller go to Arizona. I think that would those guys are really could really fit. The one X factor is Patrick Robertson. Patrick Robertson, I think, is one of the best slot corners in the game. But are the Eagles going to re-sign him? Chances are probably yeah. So that's going to take him out. So Kyle Fuller, maybe Aaron Colvin could come in and help out. You got
they could potentially let Buda Baker start and just move the Honey Badger to the slot corner because he can play that.
Well, Yeah, but the thing of it is, coming off of his injury, he's not the same Honey Badger that they brought
he is
in.
injury prone a little bit. He's got some
So
injuries.
really, he's basically a safety at this point. I don't really know if he's going to be able to be a cover corner.
The rumors are swirling that he's gone though. So
Yeah.
that's going to be.
But hey, I will say this for all the haters out there saying, Carlos Dansby needs to go. I think Carlos Dansby gets re-signed one more year for the Cardinals. He actually didn't do that bad at all. As a matter of fact, Carlos Dansby led the team in tackles. 95 tackles, man. And dude still puts in work. I still think they need to figure out what they're doing with Buchanan. I mean, he's a money linebacker, but really production-wise, he should be off the charts, and he's not.
I don't know why they moved him from safety. He was remember a while back we seen him, the Honey Badger, Patrick Peterson.
They tried to put him in a Cam Chancellor kind of role, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
he's a beast, though.
Oh, he's a
big
beast.
boy.
Oh yeah, he's huge. But I don't know. I think if they're gonna play around with the roster, Dwayne Buchanan might have to go back to the secondary instead of being in that linebacking core.
Mm-hmm.
That might help out with the secondary and give them more of play for the linebacking core in free agency and in the draft. Cardinals got a lot to do with a little bit of money. They're going to struggle this year, but next year they got over $100,000 to play with. They're going to have a lot of money. I mean, shout out to Larry, but he's also making $15 million this year, which is kind of tough. But he deserves it, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He deserves it.
When you throw it, he's gonna catch it.
So yeah, in my mind, Arizona's got a lot of work. I can see them bringing in A.J. McCarron or Sam Bradford. Wide receiver could be a Terrell Pryor or Michael Crabtree, or they could wind up getting somebody like Demaryius Thomas, something like that. The Sammy Watkins and the Mike Wallaces and some of these other free agents that are on the market, they're hit or miss. We don't really talk about them as much because I feel like they're going to be the guys late in free agency that get signed last. You know what I mean? They're going to be the ones that they're the bargain pickup at the very end that free agency is coming down to a slow point, and they're like, look, we need somebody immediately. All we got is Mike Wallace, and let's just hope he can catch.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to hit with the big wide receivers first on where they go. Mike Wallace, he could return to the Ravens, to be honest, because the wide receiving core is so crappy there right now that Wallace might come back on a 1 or 2 year deal anyway. But for Arizona, you guys have the defense is there, in my opinion. You guys didn't actually do a terrible job in defense last year. I'll pull up the stats on what Arizona did defensively. Also, by the way, they got Mike McCoy as their offensive coordinator. And for those that don't know who Mike McCoy is the guy that turned Kyle Orton into pretty much a Pro Bowler, turned Tim Tebow into the best season of his life, and then went to San Diego and got to hang out with Phillip Rivers. So the guy does have some good intake on the quarterback situation. The Arizona Cardinals. Let me pull this up for you.
They also have Chandler Jones, who had 17
Chandler
sacks.
Jones led the league in sacks. He's a beast, man. He should tell his brother what he needs to do.
Yeah, to stay in the UFC.
Jesus. All right, so basically last year, defensively they ranked 19th, but they were the 6th best in pass defense. So pass defense, they're there. It's the run game. The rush defense was 6th. Pass defense was 14th. But total defensive yards given up, they were 6th. So in my mind, the secondary is there, man. They have a lot to play with. All they need is one, maybe a slot corner to help out. But the front is where they would have to change. I mean, they were playing with Frosty Rucker last year. But this is where I would see somebody in the drafts go in there. Maybe, maybe the who's the dude from Alabama?
On defense?
Yeah, the defensive tackle from Alabama. It's hold on, Deron Payne. Deron Payne. I could see him going there, or like somebody like a Harrison Phillips. One of those two guys going there to help fill that void, because I don't know if Dontario Poe would go or not. Because again, a lot of these guys that sign the 1-year deal to play on these teams want to contend. I just don't see Arizona contending this year. So Arizona's going to finish last. They finished 8-8 last year, and I think, to be honest, I think they do better than. Between them and Seattle, it's tough to see who finishes last, because both of them are going to struggle this year. And it's kind of crazy because years past, Arizona and Seattle were literally the top. Now it's flip-flop. Now it's the Rams and 49ers.
I think just because they have a more stable situation at quarterback, the Seahawks do a little bit better than them.
Yeah.
Because I think even if you do get a McCarron or a Bradford, Sam Bradford, it's always a new quarterback. McCarron, we don't even really know starting 16 games if he'll be that guy that's going to to be.
That's tough. That's tough. So, give us your opinions on your teams, especially the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks.
Phone lines are open.
Yeah, phone lines are open. 267-629-2165.
Quick little shout out to the UFC world. Jeremy Stevens just knocked out Emmett, and he said, "I'm the hardest featherweight hit puncher in the world. Give me my title shot now."
Ooh.
So, apparently he wants a title shot, but we'll see where that goes. Because Conor McGregor has been in negotiations for a fight for the last 2 years almost.
Yeah, give me your opinion on Conor McGregor. I know he was our boy. We talk about him a lot, but where do you think, in your opinion, does Conor come back to fight? If he comes back to fight, who does he fight, and when does he fight?
Well, the three names that they're throwing around are the Nate Diaz trilogy, the Mayweather fight in the UFC, and then the winner out of Khabib and Tony.
Okay.
Now, the fight that I would want to see... Now, I've been frustrated with Conor lately, but he'll always be my boy when he steps in the battle. I always root for him. But, dude, I would love to see him fight the winner of Tony Khabib, because I think those two will give him the best fight.
That is the only fight I really want to see.
I think Khabib's going to beat.
I really don't want to see him fight Nate Diaz again.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's old. It's
cool.
old.
Yeah, it's cool trilogy, whatever. But it's like, what do you get out of it? Nothing. If he loses, then he'll be like, wait, we should do it one more time.
Yeah.
If he wins, he goes, I was always the best. It's
I think, really, to be honest,
by the way, everyone who cares about the NBA,
oh yeah,
the Warriors are smashing the Thunder right now.
Yeah, I'll give you a scoreboard update. Warriors 99, Thunder 73. Timberwolves are beating the Bulls 83-82. Trailblazers are losing to the Suns 81-67. Jazz are beating the Mavericks 70-65. Kings are beating the Lakers 35-32. In the finals, 76ers beat Magic 116-105. Heat beat the Grizzlies 115-89. Celtics hold on to win, beat the Knicks 121-112. And then real quick, going into to the men's scores, top 25 for tonight. We have we got starting off with looks like an upset. Virginia actually did beat Pittsburgh 66-37. It was Villanova that got upset by Creighton 89-83. Duke holds on to beat Syracuse 60-44. Kansas holds on to beat Texas Tech 74-72. BYU loses to Gonzaga 79-65. Auburn loses to Florida 72-66. Wichita State beats SMU 84-78. Clemson beats Georgia Tech 75-67. Maryland Terps, man, losing to Michigan 85-61. Woo! Tennessee beats Ole Miss 73-65. West Virginia over Iowa State 85-70. St. Mary's beats St. Clair 67-40. And Middle Tennessee State beats UAB 79-54. The only game going on right now is Arizona-Oregon, and AZ up 29-19, still in the first. So, going back into the UFC real quick, Conor McGregor, if he does come back, he better fight the Russian. If he doesn't, it better be Tony Ferguson. I don't want to see him fight Frank Yeager. I don't want to see him fight just somebody just to come back. I don't want to see Nate Diaz. I don't want to see him jump up in a class and fight Tyron Woodley. Stay to what you came to the UFC, man. Be a true fighter. Stay at the class. Dominate the class. Show them that you are the best guy in 155. Because right now they're just talking smack. Yeah. Because Conor McGregor, like, look, I hear he's doing more jiu-jitsu. He's trying to work on his ground game, but I'm trying to see Conor back in it. Like, you're a fighter, man. Like, I love him, and I'm glad he's got his money and he deserves it. But stay in the fight game. That's what made you. Like, ask Devlin. Devlin was there all the time when he was just starting out. She was like, "Look, stay with it. Stay true."
Now, in his defense, he did make his money, so if you don't want to fight again,
I mean, he
doesn't
have
fight,
to.
bro. Yeah, don't fight. Just say,
he doesn't have to.
I made my money.
But stay off Instagram saying that you're the best, because you're still young, man. And these young cats still want to fight.
Now, is he going to get stripped? When Khabib...
Yeah.
When Khabib went out of Khabib Tony, they become the official champion.
Dana already said September, if he doesn't fight, I mean, they're taking the belt.
They're fighting in May, right? May or June, I think. They're fighting.
Yeah, Tony and the Russian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about Conor McGregor in general.
But I'm saying this fight, they're the undisputed. It's not intermediate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're this champion. One, are you sure it's not the interim?
That's what I'm saying. Is it going to be?
No, it's the interim. It's got to be.
But no, is it going to? Are they going to make it the official? Strip him after the fight. Strip Conor after the fight. You see what I'm saying? Because they're fighting for the interim. Because Conor won't.
I don't know. Because Dana still gave Conor McGregor till September. I think it's just going to be interim.
See, man, that's the thing that makes me mad with Conor.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man.
I mean, look. I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, there's guys out there that are still trying to make a living off of this, and you're not giving them the shot at what their dream is to hold that belt.
And going off that, imagine if he never would have fought Mayweather, he never would have made that kind of money. No. You know what I'm saying? So Mayweather actually kind of threw him a bone going,
yeah, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But I want to see Conor back. And I want to see him back into his glory. I would love to see that Irish flag coming down. A little Irish love, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to see him come back. And I just hope that the money hasn't gotten to his head, man. That's all I'm saying.
Now the Bellator Grand Prix is going on. You know, you have Roy Nelson going in. You have Fedor going in, Frank Mir going in. King Mo, I think, actually just lost, so he's out. But you know who I'm rooting for in that Grand Prix? I'm rooting
That's your boy,
Fedor, to hold the belt up again, man, and rock with it. But we'll have to see, because Fedor has lost his last couple. It actually hurt my feelings when he lost to Dan Henderson, because I love Dan Henderson. And to watch Dan beat him, I was like...
Look, Dan Henderson, hands down, beat Bisping on his last fight.
Oh, dude.
That was hilarious. We watching that, and at the end of it, it was like, basically Dan says that he retires, and then they were like, "Oh, Dan, did you think you won the fight?" And he's like, "Look at him, look at me. You be the judge." And just like laughed. I was like, Bisping looked like he got beat up by like a trash truck and an 18-wheeler,
and it was like he's like way younger than him. Dan Henderson was like 40 years old out there. Oh, dude, Dan
Henderson was ready for going into early retirement.
There's talk about Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell coming back for a fight.
Oh my!
Now
what is this, like the XFL?
This is WWE. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. No, but
what is Stone Cold Steve Austin gonna come out?
Nah, but they.
Oh my god, Chuck Liddell.
That to me tells me that Dana White's just going, look,
Dude, he's struggling.
We need anybody
because Connor's not there.
Yeah.
Connor was a breadwinner.
Yeah.
But by the way, I don't even know how Chuck Liddell was on Big Brother Celebrity. Oh my!
How would you feel?
How bad is he struggling? Seriously, he was. How do you become like one of the Iceman Chuck Liddell badass? I mean, dude could knock out a freight train, but he agrees to go on Big Brother Celebrity.
Now, would you watch the fight though? If him and Tito fought, would you watch it?
I mean, I would just because there might. It depends on what's on. Really, it depends on what's on.
Would that be a free fight, you think?
Oh, it has to be, dude.
Or would Dana be like, please?
I don't think anybody would buy that as a card.
They'd be like,
Tito Ortiz would just be mad at Jenna Jameson the whole time, and Chuck Liddell would just be mad that he didn't win Big Brother Celebrity. And then maybe you know the match, the rounds would be about a minute. The break time would be about 5. They would need to either have something to eat, maybe a pillow and a nap. That fight might take forever. They might actually just lay down and fall asleep.
But the Bud Light logo in the middle of the octagon would be AARP instead of Bud Light.
Wouldn't it be cool if they came out in like the little hover rounds? Yeah. They just started coming down and
life
alerts
strapped to the necklace.
Oh my god, dude! They would have to get who did the celebrity death match?
Oh, dude, I don't know who those two guys were. The two announcers?
Yeah, who was the referee? The referee guy. Oh
dude,
man,
I forget.
Dude, that would be the guy. That would be the guy that does. That would be the guy that refs.
How would it be if it was Stone Cold the ref?
That would be cool.
All right, break it the hell up.
Yeah, you know? That would be awesome. If that happens, I'd probably watch it because it would be entertaining, I guess. But it wouldn't be like something that I would pay money to watch. It'd have to be a free fight.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we had an awesome show tonight. Thank you for everybody for giving us some love. Share us, like us. Again, what we're going to eventually do with the podcast, we just need the viewers and the support to do it. I'd like to do some local high school eventually later on down the road. Get some athletes on. Start doing local high schools like football, baseball, basketball, stuff like that, and getting involved in the local community more. But in order to do that, we need you guys to support us and share us. We are the podcast for you. That's why we do this. We love to talk about sports, and I know you guys love to vent about sports as well. So hit us up. Let us know what you think about your team, about what we're doing. Or if you know it's a Saturday night and you guys just want to chit chat, you guys are feeling lonely. You know what I mean? So Boone, real quick before we leave, what are your plans this week, man?
My plans this week are to relax.
Okay.
You know, stay sane.
What's a relaxing day for Josh Boone?
And the day of the life of Josh Boone.
Yeah, give us a little run. Give under for the review listeners. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
For a relaxing night in Josh Boone's world is when you hit that you Coors Light.
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah. For the viewers out there. Under further review is late night.
Late night, baby. No, but in all seriousness, a good relaxing night for me is cracking a Coors Light.
Okay.
Don't
hate on the beer now. Yeah, don't hate on the beer, people.
Actually, hate on the beer. Call in right now if you got to hate on that beer. We can talk about it. Nah, but cracking the Coors Light. If football's on, watching football. If not, Netflix. The Office. Unfortunately they took Family Guy and Futurama off Netflix, which really pissed me off.
Why?
I don't know. So now on Hulu, I've been just binge watching Seinfeld.
Oh, I love Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's the best.
I could watch. Literally, I've probably seen every episode 100 times.
Yeah.
I watch that all the time.
Dude, the one that I was watching today that had me cracking up is...
Which one?
You remember when Kramer had to go try to pick him up at the airport with George?
Oh my God,
and he was on the tarmac, like waving around, and Jerry's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he comes out of the baggage claim.
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
you guys ready? You know how he's always like...
Yeah. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What about you, man? It's Sunday. What are you doing to relax?
Man, you know, I work tomorrow, but pretty much my days off, my relaxing days are Thursday, Friday. Hang out with the kid and wife on Thursday. Usually do some dinner. Friday, usually see the fam, and then you, pretty much, my little brother over here. We usually hang out, do something, and then Saturday's podcast night. So really, I don't have too many relaxing days, but yeah, Thursdays, Fridays usually the days for me. But hey, stay tuned. Next Thursday, next Saturday, we're gonna go live again. We're gonna try to go a little bit earlier. I say it all the time. We actually went earlier tonight. I was pretty happy because right now as we're going off air, this is about the time we would be going on air. So again, next week, try to go a little earlier, maybe like 6-5. Again, this is going to be on YouTube, so follow us on Facebook, YouTube, share us, like us, hit us up tomorrow, next Saturday, be a part of this, and help spread the word about us, because we're trying to make this podcast the biggest thing in the community, man. So thank you for everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's liked us so far. This podcast is for you guys, so you guys want to vent, hit us up. And as always, Booney, how do we end every show, baby?
If you can't roll with the big dogs, stay on the porch. That used to be House of Sports. See you next week.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.